Hello and welcome back to the Golf Ireland pod. I am Stephen, your host, and I'm delighted to be here with you to recap all the action from Golf Ireland over the last week. We also have Sara Byrne joining us here today on the Golf Ireland pod, which is fantastic. And then we'll also look ahead to all the action coming up next week as well. But let's kick off. We have a huge bumper review here for you. Plenty of action in the last week. We're in the busy part of the season. And we will kick it off at the Irish Under 14 and Under 16 Boys Amateur Open Championship. This took place at Lisburn, and Adam Fahey and Harry O'Hara were your winners in Lisburn in the Under 16 and Under 14 category. Adam Fahey shot rounds of 74 and 72 before 4 birdies on Friday helped him to keep clear of the field to claim the Under 16 crown. He's only 15 years old, so he's still eligible to play Under 16 next year. And he's already claimed Irish titles at under 13 and under 14 level, and showed some great composure today to finish on +2. So a future star in the making there, perhaps, with Adam Fahey. Harry O'Hara laid the foundations for his 8-shot win with the rounds of 71 and 70 on Wednesday and Thursday. The Clandeboy youngster closed out with four birdies today for a sensational 3 under total, which is just incredible golf for that age group. So congratulations there to Adam and Harry. Next, we will turn our attention to the Mullingar Scratch Trophy. This took place on the 6th and 7th of August. And it was Connemara golfer Luke O'Neill who came out on top there in Bank Holiday Monday. The Galway man began the day just two shots off the lead, but he crept up the standings after a 68 in round 3. And then he finished things off with another 68 in the afternoon for an outstanding 13 under total. To back-to-back 68s is very, very impressive there. So congratulations there to Luke O'Neill. Evan Farrell bogeyed the last 3 holes, unfortunately, to see his challenge fade. And then Jack Hearn ended up in second. He was 4 shots behind O'Neill, who joins a star-studded list of winners there. So again, congratulations there to him. We'll then now look at the Munster Under 15 and Under 17 Boys Amateur Close Championship. This took place on the 4th of August at Machynys Golf Club. We'll start with the Under 15s category. That was won by Lucas O'Neill on +3. Second then was Rory McCarthy on +4, and Luke McCann then in third on +5. Congratulations there to Lucas and Rory and Luke for a great showing. Next is the Under 17s category. That was won by Karthik Leahy on 1 under par. Second was Mark Ghazi on 1 over, and then third was Michael Elliott on 1 over par. So congratulations to Karthik there for winning the Under 17s category. In Connacht, the Under 16 Girls Amateur Open Championship took place at Castlebar Golf Club on the 4th of August. In the Under 16 division then, that was won by Lauren Brady. It was stable for points, so she had 47 points there. Grace Donovan came second with 43 points. And then third was Catherine Humphreys on 38 points. So congratulations to Lauren there on her victory. In the gross category there, Jessica Reynolds won that, 32 points. Second then was Riona Murphy on 29 points. And third was Ella Cantwell on 28 points. So congratulations to Jessica. Then we also had, yesterday, finished up the Connacht Boys Under 13, Under 15 and Under 17 Close Championship at Mount Bellew Golf Club. Under 13 category, that was won by Rory Freeman on 17 under. Second was John Gallagher on 11 under. Not 11 under, that was still for points. Apologies. Rory Freeman 17 points. John Gallagher 11 points, and then James O'Brien in 10 points. I was going to say that would be some incredible shooting for that age category. So that makes more sense at the point. So congratulations to Rory Freeman there on his Under 13 win. Under 15 category was won by Patrick Tuffy on 38 points. Patrick Martin came in second, 36 points, and then Niall Keneally came in third place there on 36 points. So well done to Patrick Tuffy. And then in Under 17 category, Ben Doherty won on 34 points. Second was Sean Cloonan on 33 points, and Adam McAvoy came in third place there with 32 points. So congratulations there to all. A lot of underage golf there the last week. So congratulations to everyone who took part, and congratulations to all our winners. Last week we had Alex Maguire on the podcast. He was playing in the Bonalic Trophy, and the Bonalic Trophy took place there on the 3rd to the 5th of August. Unfortunately, the trophy will remain with Asia Pacifics for the next 2 years at least. The visiting team emerged victorious from the final day singles, although Europe did come pretty close to staging a miraculous comeback. With a 5-point deficit at the end of day 2, there was no other way for victory for Europe than to put maximal pressure in the singles and the early singles on the Saturday. The home team did very well with top to bottom of the leaderboard, covered in blue at the halfway stage. but just wasn't enough. And our very own Alex Maguire, he won his singles match 5-3, so huge congrats to him. He also won his Friday 4-balls match and his Thursday foursomes match. So a great week there for Alex, represented himself incredibly well. Then on the women's side, Patsy Hankins Trophy Team Europe won this to come out on top, and they defeated Asia Pacific for the very first time. So a massive congrats to the European team. The 12 singles on Saturday saw the team cruise home to victory, outscoring Asia Pacific by 4 points on the day, and our very own Beth Coulter was part of that winning team. She halved her singles match, but she only lost one match all week. 2 wins, 2 halves thrown in with her for her record as well, which is just incredibly impressive. Beth is just on fire the last year or two, realistically, and she continued that form this week. So a huge congrats to Europe there and the Patsy Hankins. Well done on winning that. And finally then, Matt McLean was stateside. He was in the Western Amateur. It took place at North Shore Country Club in Illinois. It was a great week for Matt. He got to the semi-finals, did himself really, really proud. Some great victories there, and just kind of lost in the semi-finals there. But some great golf all week by him, and a huge congrats to him and his team there for getting all the way to the semi-finals in the Western Amateur. Very, very well done. I think that covers, as I said, a huge bumper review there, but we got through it. I covered all the action. I think now would be a great time to turn over to Sara Byrne. So let's throw it over to our conversation. Sara Byrne now joins me here on the Golf Ireland pod. Sarah, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. How are you?
I'm great now, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah, the sun's out today, so I'm much better. Normally when the sun's out, I'm in much better form. I don't know about you. I'm sure you are. You're a golfer. That's how we judge our humour or our moods.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, look, I want to kick off. We'll look back at your year so far. It's been an incredibly successful year for you so far, but you won the Irish Women's Close for the second time this year. I know it was a few months back, but how do you reflect on that week when you look back at it now?
Honestly, that week was just incredible, to be honest. I always love coming back to play the close because it's kind of one of the only ones in Ireland, really, that we play in, just coming back from the States. So that's always something that I love playing. And obviously, having won it before, kind of going into the week, I always want to win again. And obviously, getting to the final last year, it was kind of a big thing for me to come back in and try to win it again. So, definitely the win in Connemara was a great week.
Yeah, you can't touch on it, but how much sweeter was it? Because not only was it a repeat of last year's final with you playing Beth, last year you came out on the wrong end of it. To this year, then sort of go back and slay that demon must have been incredible.
Yeah, like I knew kind of coming into the week that I was playing well, but like you never know how everyone else is playing and kind of what's going to happen on the day. But I knew kind of going into the final that I kind of just needed to trust my game, and hopefully that was going to be enough, and it was. So, but obviously, me and Beth have we've had quite the finals throughout the years. So, but we always have a good match. It's always fun to play against her, and we have some fun out there, which is the main thing. But no, definitely, getting the win this time, it felt really great.
Yeah, you mentioned Beth. You and her, at the top of your games. How much do you actually push each other on in those finals?
Oh, 100%. Like if one person's playing well, I just think not even just like when we're playing actually against each other in finals, but when you're seeing each other play well in America and you're kind of always keeping up with each other. And I think as soon as one kind of person starts playing well, it kind of gets us all kind of going, which I think is great. And I think especially when playing against each other in finals and stuff like that, if you always want to have a really great game. And I think if one person starts holding putts, the next person does it as well. So we definitely push off each other. I think all of us do. We always bounce off each other, which I think is great.
Definitely. You mentioned that you were playing well coming into the week. When you're going into that sort of week playing well, are you trying to go to the range as much as possible to keep that kind of maybe a swing feel, or are you trying to almost stay away from the range a little bit and just keep the good vibes going?
I think it's kind of a bit of middle ground. Like I'm not absolutely baiting balls on the range, but I'm also I think I just go to the range just to keep the feel, I think. Because obviously I knew I was swinging well, so I knew I didn't really have that much technical to work on. And I think I just wanted to keep that kind of relaxed feeling going into the week. And again, not really thinking about it too much, just kind of trusting myself and my game and going out there playing, seeing what happens. But yeah, no, definitely just kind of getting the feel. That's it really.
You had a quote after you won saying that you had 5 birdies today, but you're hoping for 6. So are you setting targets going out there, at the start of the day to hit maybe a certain amount of birdies, or is it just kind of a play it, see how you feel?
No, I do have this thing where I want to go out and have six birdies every round. Because I know that like bogeys are gonna come, and if you have six birdies around that, you're gonna be kind of covered for your day. So, but that's more kind of a fun thing. I have this thing where if I get six birdies, I've earned an ice cream at the end of the round. So, um, it's just kind of keeping things out there. Like as well, it kind of frees you up. If you have a bogey, it's like I'm not counting my bogeys, I'm counting my birdies today. So it's really just it kind of frees up the mind a little bit, and you're like they're gonna happen. So you just kind of keep going, you keep striding for the birdies. So yeah, that's where that quote came from.
I've a few questions from that. What kind of ice cream do you like to get?
At 99 if I'm at home in Ireland, obviously.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Good call. How often have you had five birdies and then like walked past the 99 van and just had to,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
can be a little bit hurtful, not gonna lie, but I didn't deserve it, so no.
that's great. And yeah, it's actually a really good point though. It's a way of for you to not get bogged down by bogeys. That's kind of the main source of the plan, is it?
Mhm.
That's brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's really really
definitely.
smart. I like that. Talk to us about playing the Connemara Links. Like, are you able to really take in the breathtaking views when you're playing, or are you actually just so lasered focused on playing?
Probably not in the final, to be honest. I was very much laser focused on playing. In the practice round, it was, um,
Yeah.
but and probably a little bit in the stroke play. It's a little bit less intense when you're just kind of trying to get out there and qualify. So, a little bit, but definitely it was. There was a few good views up there.
Definitely, yeah. I've asked a few people before this as well. Going from the stroke play to the match play, is that a different mindset for you? Is it a different preparation for you, or is it the exact same?
Sometimes it can be like kind of different strategies on the golf course. Maybe hit drivers in some places where you wouldn't in qualifying, because obviously qualifying you just want to keep the high numbers off, and you just kind of go out there and get some scores in there. But honestly, in Connemara, I was my like stroke play scores were so good, and I knew that the strategy that I had that week was really good, and I didn't really have that different a mindset. I went out there try to get six birdies, and that that was all kind of my goal throughout the time was just have that mindset going out there, and yeah,
Enjoy 99 after the round.
yeah.
That's always the fun. Playing two matches in one day like you did for the semi final and the final. It's something I don't think normal amateur golfers like myself really put much thought into, but it's actually pretty intense. How much of a challenge is that? How much are you trying to save energy? Especially I was at Lahinch last week where the rain and the wind was coming down. It
Mhm.
must be quite a mental challenge to keep focus for that long period of time.
It can be, but I think, especially in Ireland, though, that we've grown up playing it a lot. Like in girls' closes, I'm playing obviously the women's close and stuff like that, and a lot of our tournaments are match play. I think just throughout the years, I've kind of learned what works and what doesn't. Like, let's just say, like coming in off the golf course in the halfway thing, I'd always have like try and just get a bowl of pasta or something. I never have like a sandwich or anything. I just have kind of a big, kind of just like a substantial meal, kind of that will keep me going. But just kind of little things like that. But honestly, I think a little bit of adrenaline kind of kicks in as well, especially in the final. You're kind of you knowing what you're fighting for, and I think that kind of keeps you going a little bit.
You must be wrecked the next day.
Oh, absolutely. I do. There is things I call post tournament hangovers, where you literally just wake up the next day and you're like just dying, just body can't move.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it's just amazing. Playing nine holes must feel like 20 minutes to you guys, does it? It
Oh
just
yeah.
it just seems like nothing. Yeah,
Absolutely. Because like as well
I've
over in America kind of helps. We play 36 holes and it will literally take us about 11 hours and there's no stopping or anything. So I think that kind of going out and playing two matches on Connemara was not that difficult compared to what we do in the States.
you need good comfortable pair of shoes. I think is essential for
Hmm.
playing that many holes in one day. You
Definitely.
mentioned there playing in America. You are a student at the University of Miami. You're going into your third year now. Is that correct?
Going into my fourth year now.
Your fourth year. Apologies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
going into
so
fourth
that's yeah
year.
yeah you've been there. First of all, college golf in Miami. That sounds incredibly nice and incredibly glamorous. Is it as glamorous as it sounds?
It can be at times, other times not so much. um, but no, it's definitely really good. But obviously, it's just you don't really have that much time to soak in where you are, just because of how busy being a student athlete is, unfortunately. But definitely, when we can, it can be as glamorous as we want it to be.
The weather must be incredible, though.
it's ideal conditions for me anyway. Playing golf in the heat all day, all year round. It's kind of perfect. It probably gets a little bit too hot in summer, but that's fine because I leave to come back here. So,
You can.
but no, as soon as it's just perfect weather all the time, so it's ideal.
As you said, you're heading into your final year now, which is your senior year, I believe, is the term they use for it over there. How was it tough settling in when you first moved over? Were you homesick much? Talk to us about that process.
Well, obviously, I went over in 2020, so my experience is probably a little bit different to most people's experiences. So, obviously, I went over in August 2020, and my parents weren't allowed to come with me. Like, I was the only one that allowed fly over to the States because obviously my visa was letting me. So obviously having to go there, and then I actually had to quarantine in a hotel for 2 weeks. For that, and then got to campus, had to move in, and I think it was just I obviously didn't know what it was supposed to be like before COVID, so I think that was kind of a little bit of a blessing. But yeah, it was very very difficult. I think just having to do everything myself because like my teammates weren't didn't come back for that semester. So it's literally just basically me by myself, and a lot of like college was basically online, so there was not that many people on campus, but it was definitely a big learning curve for me. But I think it just kind of made me a bit independent too. Like I was able to like move into my dorm by myself, figure it out all by my own. So I kind of grew up a little bit, which was nice. But obviously, once January kind of came around for second semester, everyone was coming back and stuff like that, which made it a lot easier. I kind of was a little bit homesick, but not that much because this is obviously what I want. This is what I was dreamed of, what I wanted to do since I was 12. Like go to college in America. So I kind of was trying to just kind of enjoy the experience and not think about being away from home, a lot to be honest.
You mentioned there you've dreamed of doing it for years, and I know a lot of golfers are in the same boat. What is it about playing college golf in America? What is the big appeal?
I think when growing up, the kind of the college series here in like the UK and Ireland and stuff wasn't as good as what it is right now. And I think just like kind of growing up and watching like Leah when I go over to the States and then Olivia kind of go over to the States and it was working out so well for them that it was just like, whoa, this is like obviously what the thing is to do and like what's working. So just kind of seeing that happen, I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. If this is what the best players in the world are gonna go do, that's what I want to start doing.
Yeah, you see the likes of Rose Zhang obviously coming out of Stanford now, and she's like just a global superstar. I'm sure the appeal
Mm-hmm.
is I want to play against the likes of her. I want to put myself
Yeah.
against. Is that kind of is that fair?
Yeah, definitely. Like I feel like college golf in America is probably one of the best standards in the world for amateur golf, to be honest. And I think that's if the goal is to go out and be pro and try and be the best in the world, well, you may as well put yourself in those sort of positions and play against the best. So, I think it for right like for me, it definitely was the best decision, and I think it is working out very well for me. But that's kind of what I always wanted to do.
Yeah, it's also very well covered in the States, the likes of ESPN, which is pretty cool too. So,
Hmm.
I was looking at your team. It's so multicultural. There's only actually one player from America on your actual team at the moment. There's I think Finland,
Yeah.
Colombia. It must be so cool to be kind of experiencing all these different types of cultures and learning about them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially my first year was mainly just Europeans. And I think that kind of helped me a lot as well settle in because, like, obviously we are a different culture, but it's a lot more similar to what America would be like. So I think that definitely helped as well. A lot of international students kind of help kind of settle you in and kind of you learn from them a little bit as well, from being away from home. But definitely it is. I was a bit of a shock to be honest. I thought everyone would be American going over, but no. It is actually really cool just to learn about different parts of the world. And I think coming out of college, your teammates are probably some of your best friends. So you always have different countries to go visit when you're finished, which I think is pretty cool.
Definitely, a trip to Finland sounds cool.
Hmm.
That's definitely on the cards. The style of golf. Talk to me about that, Sarah. Obviously, in Ireland, growing up, you sort of playing links golf. You kind of try and keep under the wind, and all that. Is that similar golf to Miami, or is it more the American style of you kind of hit it high and launch it into the air? Talk to us a bit about that.
Yeah, a little bit different than growing up on the links out there here. That's for sure. But to be honest, it wasn't that big of a shock as well because I was playing a lot in Europe. Growing up, kind of like playing German girls and stuff like that. Where again, that's kind of American style golf course. So, it wasn't that big of a shock to me because I've as well I had played a couple of tournaments in America before, and I kind of knew what kind of the kind of shots I needed to hit. But again, it's just kind of adapting. Like you're kind of learning all the different shots, and I think that's just what's going to have to happen when if you're going to go turn pro and stuff like that. You're always going to be faced with different conditions every week. But no, definitely the higher ball flight, a bit more spin on the ball compared to what we'd be playing out here in Ireland. But yeah, honestly, it just took a little bit of adapting, but and like kind of seeing different shots. But it was just a bit of practice, and it was fun.
Absolutely. Let's move on to you have been selected for the RNA Women's Home Internationals, which is taking place at the time of recording. It's actually taking place, or people listening, it's taking place today, the 9th of August, at Machynys Golf Club, I think, if I pronounced that correctly or not. I'm not sure, in Wales. First of all, congratulations on being selected. How proud are you to be selected?
Thank you. Yeah, no, honestly, over the moon. As always, it's always a great week representing my country, and I never take that for granted. And I think it's one. Honestly, homes is probably one of my favorite weeks. Just playing match play with the girls, and you're always fighting for the win. I think it's just a great week, and we all have great fun out there. So yeah, I'm really really looking forward to it.
Yeah, representing your country, it can feel different for everybody. Some, I can imagine it can also add a lot of pressure. Some people, it seems to, if anything, spur them on for greater things. How does it feel for you personally to represent your country?
It feels amazing, like getting to play in all the tournaments that we get to play in, like European teams and like stuff like that, and home internationals. Like it's an experience like no other, to be honest. Like knowing that you're repping your country and people are always supporting you, and I think it's an amazing feeling, especially like a first tee shot, your name getting called out, and it's always a special feeling, especially even at the end of the week with maybe like hoisting a trophy, like what we did last year with the women's homes winning our section. I think that's just something that it's you're just never really going to experience,
Does the fact that you're playing as well in America now, does it almost make you feel or appreciate more when you're back and representing Ireland now that you're actually living away for so long in the year?
Definitely, especially like coming back and like being back with all the girls again. Like we're also really good friends, and it's all really nice to just come back and see each other and play on the same teams again because we always have great fun. And I think that's the best part. We're going out there and competing for our country, and we're also having fun while doing it. And I just don't think we can ask for any more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's at the moment it feels like just women's golf in Ireland is at such an amazing place. There's so much talent, such a depth of talent. Are you guys conscious of that at the moment, or are you just sort of in the zone and just trying to play golf, or are you guys aware of how good the golf is at the moment in Ireland?
I think we're definitely aware. It's definitely getting a lot bigger and a lot better than in the past recent years, which I think is absolutely fantastic. The amount of like hype around women's golf at the minute, it's amazing to see, and it's a great feeling. And being part of that is just absolutely amazing. I think as well, like a lot of us are playing great golf at the minute, and like we're all just pushing each other on, wanting each other to do better. And I think that definitely helps as well, knowing that everyone is behind you and everyone wants you to do well. And I think it's absolutely amazing what's being done for the game at the minute.
Definitely. How much do you enjoy playing in a team? I think obviously with your college golf, you're quite used to it, but it does seem everyone seems to enjoy that aspect in a game that's normally so individual.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it so great. Like you're always there, like because even in America with your team, you're still kind of playing individually as well. Like I think that's why you come back for homes and European teams, and it really is just big, massive team effort, especially homes. Like obviously just match play and stuff like that. And I think having that, I think that's what makes it so special is that it's so rare, that you never really get to play it that often. And I think just like that for like an individual sport, just having that team aspect is it's just great for everyone. I think again, like having the girls that's on the team, we're all really great friends, and I think just having that kind of week where you're depending on each other, and I think it's just a great experience.
The men's team will be playing at the same time. Will there obviously be both teams be pushing each other on and supporting each other?
Definitely, because obviously the main event is like to win home internationals. You need to win on both sides. So I think definitely we'll all be pushing each other on. I think we all kind of want that win, especially after last year by just losing by a fine margin. We're definitely going to be out there fighting for that trophy this year.
Well, you took revenge this year in the close. I'm sure you will help take revenge this year in the home internationals as well. I don't know how familiar you are with the course you guys are playing, but you wouldn't be as familiar, obviously, as a course say back home here, or a course you play regularly in the States. How does that affect your preparation or your mindset going into playing a course that you wouldn't be as familiar with?
I think just kind of going for using that practice day and really focusing in on like what kind of tee shots, and then kind of where's a good miss, where's like kind of thinking where the pins are going to be. Obviously, kind of the more the week kind of goes on, you learn a lot as well. I think kind of that first day of match play too, everyone is kind of the same, kind of settling into it. So I definitely think just like the preparation day will be very big, and then kind of learning as you kind of go as well. I think is a great thing. So I think just that prep day, really focusing in and finding what kind of strategy is the best way to go forward.
You're captained by Niamh Quigg, you're managed by Helen Jones, and Donald Scott is your coach. How important are the team captains, the managers, and the coaches for the team games like this?
I think they're very, very important. I think we all have a great relationship with our captains and managers and coaches. So I think that kind of makes the week a lot easier. They're always there to help no matter what. And the support that we get from the three of them the past couple of years has been unbelievable. It's just a great environment to be a part of. And just obviously they're always there to give advice and just help out and just be there, support us. And I think that the environment they create for us is just fantastic.
Brilliant. Well, Sarah, look, we've kept you long enough. Thank you so much for taking your time out of us to come here and chat on the Golf Ireland pod. We wish you the best of luck in the rest of your season, and obviously in the home internationals representing Ireland. So thank you again.
Thanks very much.
And thanks again to Sara Byrne for joining me here on the Golf Ireland pod. Always fantastic to talk to Sarah there as well. So let's look ahead now to the action that is upcoming. We will start with the home internationals, and the boys and girls has kicked off yesterday. This is taking part at Lindrick Golf Club. So it started yesterday, it runs through the 10th, which is tomorrow. And just a reminder that the boys and girls teams are as follows. The boys is Donnacha Cleary, Fionn Dobbin, John Doyle, Mark Gazzi, Darcy Hogg, Sean Keeling, Jack Murphy, Gavin Tiernan and James Walsh. And then the girls team is Anna Abom, Olivia Costello, Kate Dillon, Marina Joyce Moreno, Kiva O'Grady and Ellen O'Shaughnessy, as well as Hannah Lee McNamara. So best of luck to the team. You can keep an eye on social medias for the progress of that. Then the Irish men's and women's team is also taking place. That is taking place at Machynys Golf Club in Wales. The men's team is Mark Boucher, Colin Campbell, Paul Conroy, Max Kennedy, Alex Maguire, Robert Moran, Liam Nolan, Keelan Rafferty and David Shield. And on the women's side we have Sarah Byrne, Beth Coulter, we have Emma Fleming, Anna Dawson, Kate Lanigan, Mairead Martin and Jessica Ross. That is taking place. That starts today. So you can keep an eye online for score updates as well. So best of luck to the men's, women's and the boys and girls in the home internationals this week. Anya Donegan is taking part in the US Women's Amateur Championship at Bel Air Country Club. You can keep an eye on the current state of play there with Anya online as well, or on the website. And best of luck to her as well. Also coming up then as well, we have on the 10th of August we have the under 16 Leinster Boys Amateur Open Championship, which is taking place at Newlands Golf Club. And then on the 11th of 12th of August we have the Munsters Men Mid Amateur Open Championship, which is taking place at Canturk Golf Club. So best of luck there to everyone who's competing this week in all the tournaments. And that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening at home. Thank you again, Sarah Byrne, for joining us here. And we'll be back next Wednesday to recap all the action again. So thank you.